So you want to give your baby the best genes? Then get your ass off the couch and go for a run. If my word isn't good enough for it, there are plenty of studies backing this. I've been in fertility for 40 years. That's longer than some of you have been alive. I've seen couples conceive in hot tubs, on kitchen counters, and once, memorably, in a Bunnings car park. Don't ask, but here's what I haven't seen. Lazy people producing Olympic athletes. Did you know that your workout routine is programming your future kids' biology before they even exist? And once you understand what's going on, you're never going to look at exercise the same way again. Let me explain what I mean by this. Your body is writing an instruction manual right now. Every time you exercise, you're adding notes to this manual that says, hey, this is how we operate around here. But if you don't move, that gets noted too. Think of it like leaving instructions for a house sitter. You can't change what's in the house, but you can leave notes like, don't feed the dog chocolate, or the shower handle is backwards. Your genes are the house. Your lifestyle choices are the notes. Your baby is the house sitter who's stuck following whatever instructions you left. Scientists call this epigenetics. But forget the fancy term for a second. What's happening is that your lifestyle is flipping switches on your genes, not changing the genes themselves, those are locked in, but deciding which ones get turned on or off. And those switch settings, they get passed down to your kids. Researchers studied mothers who exercise before pregnancy. Their babies have significantly better metabolic health. We're talking kids who are less likely to become obese, less likely to get diabetes, and whose bodies work more efficiently overall. Remember that fat kid in kindergarten? His mum probably wasn't very active either. Now, before anyone gets their knickers in a twist, I'm not judging, I'm telling you what the research shows, and after 4 decades of doing this work, I've seen enough to know that nobody's perfect, including me. My own daughter still reminds me I ate Tim Tams through my entire pregnancy. She turned out fine, mostly, though she does have an unhealthy attachment to chocolate biscuits. In studies with pregnant mice, stay with me, when the mice exercised, their babies were born smarter, measurably smarter, better memory, faster learning, the whole deal. And the same mechanisms exist in humans. Your future kids' brain development is influenced by whether you're moving your body right now. Let's zoom in on what's happening at the cellular level. Those mitochondria you learned about in high school biology, the powerhouse of the cell and all that. Well, when you exercise, your mitochondria get better at their job. They become more efficient, produce more energy, create less cellular garbage. Your mitochondria are like the engine in your car. Mine are more like a 1987 Holden Commodore. They still work, but they make concerning noises. Yours could be a Tesla. Your baby inherits your engine, not a new one. So the question is, are you handing them a Ferrari or a rust bucket? When you get pregnant, your baby inherits mitochondria from you, only from mum. I got my dodgy mitochondria from my mum, who got hers from her mum. 3 generations of Irish women who thought exercise was for other people. The gene pool stops being a pool and becomes more of a gene puddle. Sorry, dads, you don't contribute mitochondria. I've had blokes argue with me about this. Mate, I don't make the rules, but before you tune out thinking you're off the hook, you've got your own shit to worry about. We'll get to that. So if your mitochondria are running like well-oiled machines because you've been exercising, your baby starts life with premium cellular equipment. That affects their metabolism, their brain function, their immune system, everything. You're giving your kid a biological advantage before they're even conceived. Now, it turns out this isn't about what you're doing right, it's also about what you're not doing wrong. Let's talk about chronic inflammation. That's your body being on fire all the time. Not fun fire, not birthday cake fire, constant low-grade damage. Think of it like having 47 browser tabs open on a computer from 2010. Everything runs slow, the fan's going mental, and eventually the whole system crashes. Exercise closes those tabs. Your baby doesn't inherit a computer that's already overheating. It's shithouse for you, and if you're dealing with with it when you get pregnant, you're handing that problem to your baby. They start life already behind. Exercise is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory tools we have. It's better than most medications, it's free, and the side effects are all good. When you exercise regularly, you reduce inflammation throughout your entire body, which means when you do get pregnant, your baby is developing in a much healthier environment. Now, let me tell you about gut bacteria and exactly why this connection matters so much. Your digestive system is home to trillions of bacteria. Some are helpful, some are bludgers. Exercise throws a party that only the good ones show up to. The lazy ones hate movement, which is exactly why you want to get rid of them. It's like in real life. Only the fit people show up for a marathon. You pass some of those bacteria to your baby during birth. So when you exercise, you're creating a better microbiome to hand off to your child. Babies born with healthier microbiomes have fewer allergies, better digestion, stronger immune systems, all because mum decided to go for regular walks before getting pregnant. This isn't affecting one generation. These epigenetic changes can potentially be passed down multiple generations. Your grandkids could benefit from the workouts you're doing right now. You're not exercising for yourself, you're changing your family tree. There was this famous study of Dutch people who were conceived during a famine in World War II. 60 years later, they were still dealing with health problems. I had one patient argue with me, "But Julie, I'm not starving." "Mate, you had fast food for lunch. You're the opposite of starving, but your body can't tell the difference between no nutrients and only shit nutrients. You're not in a famine, you're just inactive. Fix it now. You don't need to become some fitness fanatic to see these benefits." The research shows that moderate exercise, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, is enough to trigger these positive changes. Walking, swimming, cycling, dancing in your living room, anything that gets your heart rate up and makes you breathe a little harder. I've watched every health fad come and go, cabbage soup diets, those weird shake weight things, whatever the hell kale chips are. But exercise, that's never gone out of style because it works. Boring but true. Add in some strength training twice a week. And I don't mean powerlifting. Bodyweight exercises work fine. Squats, push-ups, lunges, things you can do at home with zero equipment. That's it. That's what it takes to change your future baby's biological destiny. Nothing crazy. Consistent movement. Your body is remarkably adaptive. Even if you start exercising a few months before trying to conceive, you'll see benefits. Let me give you some numbers because they're important. I know numbers are boring. I'm 60. I'm allowed to be boring. But these numbers matter more than whatever's trending on TikTok. Women who exercise regularly before pregnancy have a 35% lower risk of gestational diabetes. Their babies have a 28% lower risk of being born overweight. And those babies, as they grow up, have a 42% lower risk of developing childhood obesity. Those aren't small numbers. Those are massive, life-changing differences. And they all come from something as simple as moving your body consistently. So what about dads? Right, let's talk about your part. You don't pass down mitochondria, but you do pass down something just as important, epigenetic markers. Your sperm takes 74 days to develop. That's about 10 episodes of your average Netflix series. So every time you binge watch instead of exercise, you're programming 10 episodes worth of laziness into your future kid. That means the 2.5 months before you try for a baby, that's your window. The beer you had last night, yeah, that's in your sperm now. Not literally, you're not ejaculating beer, but the effects are there. Every pie, every stubby, every time you took the lift, because you couldn't be arsed with stairs, your future kid's DNA is keeping track. So get off your arse. Recent research shows that dads who exercise before conception pass down benefits through epigenetic markers in their sperm. These markers influence how your kid's genes get switched on or off. If you'd done a workout this morning, instead of hitting snooze, that would be affecting the genetic instructions your future kid receives. So get moving. So mum handles mitochondria. Dad handles epigenetic markers from sperm. Both matter. You're both programming your future kid's health together. Let's zoom in on the mental health aspect of this. Babies born to mothers who exercised regularly before pregnancy show better stress responses. They're more resilient, better able to handle challenging situations, lower rates of anxiety and depression as they grow up. Exercise changes how your baby's brain will respond to stress throughout their entire life. You're not just giving them a healthier body, you're also giving them better mental health tools. In a world that's increasingly stressful, that might be the most valuable gift of all. Imagine your future kid at 15 telling you that you've ruined their life because you won't let them get a face tattoo. With better stress responses from your exercise, they'll handle that disappointment without setting the house on fire, probably. Or picture them stressed about school, struggling with social pressure, facing challenges you can't predict yet. They'll be wired to handle it better because of choices you made before they even existed, which they'll need because, let's be honest, they're going to blame you for everything anyway. At least this way their therapy bills might be lower. The preconception period, the 3 to 6 months before you start trying to get pregnant, that's a crucial window. That's when you want to be most consistent with exercise because that's when your body is preparing eggs for ovulation. For women, eggs start maturing 3 to 6 months before ovulation. So the lifestyle you're living right now is affecting eggs that won't be released for months, which means if you start today, in 3 to 6 months, you'll be releasing eggs that were optimized by your exercise. You have a runway, use it. But starting earlier is always better because the longer you maintain healthy habits, the more deeply those epigenetic patterns get established. Your body has more time to optimize everything. Now let's address what keeps most people stuck with this. You're thinking you don't have time, you're exhausted. I've been hearing excuses since the 80s. Back then it was my aerobics class conflicts with Dallas. Now it's I need to finish this Netflix series. The excuses change, you stay the same. And you know what? They're all bollocks. 30 minutes a day, you spend longer scrolling through Instagram looking at other people's babies. Move your body instead. You don't need to go to a gym. You don't need special equipment. You don't need to follow some complicated program. Walk around your neighbourhood. Do bodyweight exercises in your living room. Dance to music you love. Swim at the local pool. Find movement you enjoy. Because if you hate it, you won't do it consistently. And consistency is what matters here, not intensity. Let me give you some systems you can use to make this work. The Big 3 rotation. Pick 3 things you don't hate doing. Walk, swim, whatever. Rotate them so you don't get bored and quit like everyone else does. The consistency over perfection method. Exercise 5 days a week. Miss a day, stop being dramatic. Do it the next day. Your body doesn't need perfection. It needs you to show up more often than not. The habit stack strategy. Attach exercise to something you already do every day. After your morning coffee, you go for a walk. After work, you do 20 minutes of bodyweight exercises. You're not adding something completely new. You're building onto existing routines, the partner accountability system. Find someone else who's trying not to screw up their future kids' DNA. Text each other. It's harder to bail when someone else knows you're being lazy. The future baby visualization. When you don't feel like exercising, take 10 seconds to imagine your future kid. Imagine them healthy, strong, resilient, happy. Remember that what you do right now affects them. That's your motivation. Now let's address the elephant in the room. What if you've been inactive for years? Well, you can't unfuck the past, but you can start today. Your body adapts fast. The moment you start moving, things start improving. You haven't blown it, you're behind. Catch up. Your mitochondria start getting better. Your inflammation starts dropping. Your epigenetic markers start shifting. You haven't missed your chance. You need to start now. And even if you're not planning to have a baby for several years, starting these habits today means they'll be ingrained by the time you are ready. You won't be scrambling to get fit. You'll already be living this way. It'll be normal. My daughter, the one who won't shut up about the Tim Tams I ate while pregnant with her, she's pregnant now herself, and she's exercising 5 days a week. She learned from my mistakes, which is exactly what I'm hoping happens here. You learn from everyone else's mistakes, so your kids don't have to. You're not exercising for some abstract future benefit. You're participating in your child's life before they even begin. You're showing up for them in the most fundamental way possible by creating the healthiest biological foundation you can give them. Every workout is an act of love for someone you haven't met yet. Every walk around the block is building their cellular machinery. Every strength training session is optimizing their metabolic health. You're being a parent right now. Before pregnancy, before conception, before that person even exists, you're already taking care of them. Most people go through life thinking their genetics are fixed, that they're stuck with whatever hand they were dealt. But now you know that's not true. You can influence what your kids inherit. You have that power. Your body isn't yours when it comes to having children. It's the foundation for another human being. Every choice you make, how you move, how you eat, how you manage stress, creates the environment where your future baby will begin their life. Exercise changes your gene expression. It improves your cellular health. It reduces inflammation. It optimizes your hormones. It builds a better microbiome. All things your baby will inherit from you. Your questionable taste in music that they'll develop on their own, unfortunately, and it doesn't require you to become an athlete. Consistent, moderate movement, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. That's enough to change your future child's biology in profound ways. You're not working out for beach season. You're not trying to fit into old genes. You're creating a biological gift for your future kid that will benefit them for their entire life. A gift they'll never know they received, but one that will make everything easier for them. So next time you're debating whether to go for that walk or do that workout, remember, you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for someone who doesn't exist yet, but who's counting on you to give them the best possible start. After 40 years in this field, I've seen couples make every mistake possible. Some got lucky despite being lazy. Most didn't. But the ones who exercised, their kids are consistently healthier. Not sometimes, not maybe, consistently. They're also more annoying because they have energy to argue with you, but that's a separate issue. So stop overthinking it and go for a bloody walk. Look, if you're serious about optimizing your health before having kids, you need to understand what's happening in your body right now. That's why I use Inside Tracker. It doesn't give you generic advice. It analyzes your blood biomarkers and tells you exactly what you need to work on. Use my link below for 20% off. And if you found this valuable, hit subscribe because we're going deep on fertility science around here.